Hello and welcome to beautiful Newmarket, Virginia. It is a perfect Friday night for some baseball here in the Valley. We have the visiting Winchester Royals taking on your homestanding Newmarket Rebels. We're going to start off with the Winchester Royals lineup, and I'm kicking it over to my partner, Jack. Where that?
Excited for this one on, like you said, a perfect day for baseball, Andrew. So the starting lineup for the visiting Royals of Winchester. Leading off for the Royals will be number 8, Troy Davis, the center fielder tonight from East Stroudsburg. He's followed by Todd Abraham, the left fielder. He's followed by Zach Fortman, the shortstop from University of the South. And batting cleanup for the Royals will be Cameron Tellefson from ODU, and he will be playing first tonight, followed by Cooper Harris, the designated hitter, and he is from Alcorn State, followed by Brady Benavides, the third baseman from Barry. He's followed by Ryan Maxey, the second man tonight, from St. John's River, and he's followed by James Pitts from the State College of Florida, and he will be catching tonight. And rounding it out for the Royals will be Christian Dillard, and he will be right field tonight for the Royals from Middle Georgia State. Excited for this one, Andrew.
Absolutely. Real quick, the starting lineup for the Newmarket Rebels. Leading off, the center fielder out of Embry-Riddle, Zach Banks. Batting second, playing second tonight, number 2, Jonathan Mallow. Batting third, playing left field out of UNCW, Matt Murchison. Batting fourth, playing first base tonight from Goldie Beacom College, Matt Murphy. Batting fifth, moving to the outfield tonight and playing right field, number 19, Johnny Lopez. Batting sixth, the designated hitter out of Western Kentucky, Grayson Godby. Batting seventh and playing shortstop tonight out of Pensacola State, Maddox Land. Batting eighth, doing the catching out of Florida Southern, Josh Hines. Batting ninth, playing third base, Tyler Martin. And on the mound tonight for the Rebels, out of Charleston Southern, Zach Stitchway, who fires the first pitch for a strike as we are underway in Newmarket. Stitchway, a big right-handed pitcher out of Charleston Southern. This is his second appearance for the Rebels. That one's in for a called strike. He's ahead 1-2.
And I did not mention that Brock Whipke will be on the mound tonight for the Royals, the righty from Potomac State. He's appeared in one other game against Purcellville.
Might have a little Potomac State on Potomac State crime tonight with Jonathan Mallow in the lineup for the Rebels out of Potomac State. That one was fouled off. Mallow on his way to Mount St. Mary's next season, but they would have been teammates in spring 2026. Swing and a miss. Stitchway gets Troy Davis swinging to get this one started.
And that's how you started off in style for the Rebels. You take care of Troy Davis, second most hits on the team, and the second best batting average. He's a productive hitter, one of the best on the Royals lineup, and that's just a good start for Stitchway, taking care of him relatively quick.
Absolutely. In his first start, Stitchway pitched 2 innings against the Covington Lumberjacks. He struck out 4 and allowed no damage.
Very solid
He's had a strong start all the way around here. Gonna bring up Todd Abraham, batting second tonight for the Royals. Foul tip there into the catcher's glove. Hines is able to squeeze it.
And Todd Abraham, one of the 4 players that got 2 hits last night against Covington, them being Poland, Abraham, Benavides, and Dillard.
Nice breaking ball. Just misses for ball 2. Lumberjacks had a long drive last night from Covington to Winchester. I'm guessing that's around 3.5 hours. Rebels are fortunate to be located smack dab in the middle of the valley. Called strike 2, 2-2 on Abraham. Longest road trip for the Rebels this season is actually just an hour and a half to Purcellville. That one's fisted in the air down the right field line. Gonna be trouble. It is over Murphy's head into right field. Wasn't hit hard, but it was hit in the right place.
Well, you talk about the Bermuda Triangle, that little area between second pitch and first. Well, there's a little, almost looks like a Bermuda Triangle behind first, and it lands right there in that shallow outfield, a little bit too far for Murphy to get back to, a little bit too right for Lopez to get there too. So another, just unfortunate placement there for the Rebels, and one on for the Royals.
Bring up Zach Fortman. Yeah, that one only landed 15 feet or so out into the outfield grass, but it's perfectly placed over the first baseman Murphy's head. Only one Murphy in the lineup tonight, so no confusion. The Rebels do have a couple Murphys, a couple Marios, and a couple Lopez's. We gotta make sure we're getting first and last when those guys are all playing at the same time.
You do have a double Matt action here for the Rebels tonight with Matt Murchison in left and Matt Murphy at first. So not last names, however, first names, two Matts.
1-1 the count on Fortman. Right side of the field still affected by the sun, which sets more or less directly behind home plate, slightly offset. Right field, second base, first base, all shading their eyes early. Ground ball to shortstop, should be a chance for two. Land over to Mallow, over to first. 6-4-3 double play. Stitchway faces the minimum here in the top half of the first inning. Royals
On the first inning.
do not score. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first and Newmarket's first chance at bat in just a moment. Brock Whipke on the mound for the Royals here in the bottom half of the first. He had one appearance already this year against the Purcellville Cannons. He went 3 innings, 5 hits, allowed 3 earned runs. His first pitch is swung on and missed by Zach Banks. I think the Banks family might be in attendance tonight. Doing a little guessing from the press box.
And not the greatest start from Whipke against Purcellville, but he's looking to right the ship tonight. And what a chance, you get the start and you got an undefeated Newmarket team. Good, opportunity to make a statement.
Absolutely. Winchester comes into tonight's game 2 wins and 3 losses. They have won 2 in a row after a bit of a rough start. Rebels come in at 5-0, first place in the North Division, and tied for first overall in the Valley. 1-2 on Banks. Whipke misses out for ball 2. I think the pitching lines have been a little bit ugly across the league largely. A lot of high-scoring games so far. A lot of walks. Grounded foul off of Banks. Speaking of walks, Rebels currently lead the Valley League in walks. Stealing Jack's stats there.
And if you can believe who follows Newmarket in walks, guess who? It's Winchester, 39.
A lot of patient hitters in action tonight. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch from Whipke to get Banks. Bring up Jonathan Mallow, second baseman out of Potomac State.
Potomac State College. 2, Jonathan. Oh.
Yep, Mallow, the returning face, 3rd year with Newmarket. We all know this because I've said it probably 20 times at this point. Again, a productive hitter so far, yet again, for Newmarket.
First pitch is outside. Mallow named North Division Hitter of the Day for his performance here 2 days ago on June 3rd.
I believe that was the Valley Baseball League Big Stick Hitter of the Night.
Yes, sir.
And that was on Instagram, and I saw that and took note of that one. And so did you.
That one misses outside 3-0. You got his numbers from that night over there? I think I see him.
I believe
right along the top of your highlighted
yes, he
section.
went 4 for 4 with 6 ribbies in that 10-0 win against the Cardinals. Very productive night for Newmarket.
Called strike 3-1. I think he also tacked on a stolen base and a walk.
Yes.
So hard to beat that. 4 for 4, walk, stolen base, bunch of ribbies. 3-1. Ground ball out to shortstop. Throws across in time. Mallow's going to be retired 6-3. That'll bring up the left fielder out of UNC Wilmington, Matt Murchison.
And this is a good start for the Royals, going kind of back and forth after the Rebels weren't able to, they're not really producing much. The Royals weren't able to produce much in the first inning. Now they're able to respond and play some good defense and be able to limit Newmarket.
Early on, the feeling is this one might be a little more low scoring than we've seen. Pitchers looking pretty effective early. First pitch to Matt is in for a called strike.
Good pitch there from Whipke. Paints that inner third right there.
Hard hit ground ball into right field for the first hit of the night for the Rebels. Murchison turned on that one, hit it hard on the ground between the first baseman and second baseman. They call that the 3-4 hole.
And 2 hits in the right field area already in this first inning for both teams.
Gonna bring up Matt Murphy, playing first base tonight. Takes a called strike. Keep an eye on Murchison over at first. Would not be surprised to see Coach Shepard put him in motion at some point here. 2 outs, man on first. A good time to push your luck. Ground ball to the second baseman. He's going to pick it up, step on second, and retire Murchison for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left for Newmarket. Zach Stitchway back on the mound for the top half of the 2nd on the other side of this break.
On the second. Photo.
Cameron Tellefson going to lead off for the Royals in the top half of the 2nd. Tall right-handed batter. Called strike. He is tall enough that I want to look up how tall he is.
6'6".
6'6". You can tell.
Yeah, it's a big guy right there, and went 1 for 4 against Covington yesterday.
Breaking ball in for called strike 2. Misses for a ball. Getting our radar gun set up here so we can give you some pitch speeds. Breaking ball misses. Down and away. We would love to hear from you all in the YouTube chat. Do our best to interact and keep an eye out as the night goes on. 2-2 pitch fouled off down the first base line.
Had some wacky team name trivias last game. I'd like to hear a few more wacky team names. So if you got any, throw them in the chat. I'd love to.
We might even do a trivia question tonight. See if we have time as the night goes on and I can think up a good one for everybody. That's not too hard.
2 straight spoiled balls there from Tellefson over the Winchester bench. Really trying to find his pitch.
Fastball misses low and away. Came in about 88 miles an hour from Stitchway. I'm going to give you the pitch speeds that our radar gun reads. I think it's a little slow, but curveball finds the inside corner for strike 3. You could tell Tellefson knew it too.
Yeah, and that's just a great pitch from Stitchway to paint that inside corner. And he's looking solid so far.
Do want to take a moment to welcome the Royals fans that are joining us tonight. Well aware of that our audience is largely made up of parents from both teams, not just Newmarket. We're a little bit biased, but we'll try to make it tolerable for you all that are on the other side at the same time. First pitch to Cooper Harris misses for a ball. Quickly fires the second pitch, which also misses. Keep an eye on the pitch count for Stitchway tonight. Don't know that he's super stretched out as far as starter. He worked in relief for Charleston Southern and pitched 2 innings in his debut in Newmarket. Finds the zone there for strike 1.
Just a good pitch there, not letting the battle and the count get away from you.
Pounds the zone again. Called strike 2.
2 straight solid strikes there.
Popped up to the right side. Mallow back. Lopez coming in, but Mallow sticks with it and squeezes it for the P4 and the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Brady Benavidez for his first time at bat.
Saw his second action against Covington. That saw him go 2 for 3.
First pitch called strike. Second pitch just misses. Could tell that one got a few mutters from the stands.
Mighty close there. It's impressive seeing Stitchway find his grip really early.
Called strike. Had 1 and 2. 1 strike away from working a 1-2-3 second inning. That one bounces into the catcher, Hines. Rebels employing a 3-catcher rotation. Mario Lopez Jr. behind the plate last night. Dylan Murphy behind the plate the night before that. I think for this upcoming week, Murphy is going to be out of the rotation as he is on vacation. So see a lot of Hines and Lopez. That sums up summer baseball for you when you're
Yes,
missing
it
a player for a family vacation, but happens every summer. Ground ball to third, fielded by Martin, but just foul. Tyler Martin getting the start at third base tonight out of Holmes Community College. Son of Rebel hitting coach and first base coach Ty Martin. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stitchway does indeed get the 1-2-3 top half of the second inning. We will be back in just a moment for Jonathan Lopez and the Rebels. We're back for the bottom half of the second inning. Johnny Lopez out of FAU behind at bat, and he is quickly behind 0-2. Tried to hold up on that 0-1 pitch and couldn't quite do it. That fastball stayed up and out. We'll get you back to 2 camera views in just a few minutes here. We're temporarily down a man in the press box. Got your normal crew on the call tonight, and then you're going to start getting some mixing and matching over the next couple weeks with summer vacations, baby arrivals, and who knows what else.
Many twists and turns in summer baseball.
Seen it all, or at least most. Hard hit ground ball, fielded right behind second base, throw across, nice play. Bortman ranged pretty far into the hole, fielded it, and was able to throw across in time to get Lopez.
And if you're a scout watching that, Fortman's display right there, that's exactly what you're looking for, to be able to travel from short over to second in a timely manner, get it and pick it up, and really swiftly fire it over to first in time.
Grayson Godby at bat now out of Western Kentucky.
Thanks.
Swings and misses at the first offering from Whipke. Called strike 2. Whipke doing a nice job early, pounding the strike zone.
And we've seen this a lot from Newmarket pretty much in every single game. They start slow, not really able to really generate much, and then they kind of pick it up mid-game and late game. So interesting to see if they can kind of get the ball rolling here in the next couple innings.
Absolutely. Already overcome 2 5-run deficits in the first 5 games.
And mighty close on that inner third there from Whipke. He was reaching for it, really kind of on the line, right on that fence. Just a great overall pitch. Saw some oohs and ahs from the Winchester faithful over there.
Absolutely. They thought he went, but in that case, I don't agree. I think he was in the clear.
Even from our perspective, that kind of was a non-negotiable, really. It did not look like he went across.
Godby has worked the count full, and he's going to draw a 1-out walk. Took a couple of close pitches there. They went his way, and as we mentioned, the lead league in walks is expanded.
And the streak continues for the Rebels.
Coming into tonight's game, Newmarket with 49 walks in 5 games, averaging almost 10 walks a game. That would be number 50. Also, 11 hit by pitches. So,
Pitch magnets.
60 free trips to first base in the first 5 games for Newmarket. No wonder averaging over 9 runs a game. Two 2-0 now on Maddox Land. Still looking for his first hit with the Rebels, but has been on the bases and in the action quite a bit when he's gotten an opportunity.
Definitely.
Chops that one on the ground to third. Going to be a tough play. Booted by the third baseman. Wasn't an easy play by any means, but probably one that should have been made. Be an E5 on Benavidez. Godby will advance to second. Slow hit, but took a nice big hop for Benavidez, and it just seemed to hit him in the heel of the glove and kick away. First pitch to Newmarket catcher Josh Hines is a called strike.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, something that I think about is the 2002 Oakland Athletics would love this team because if you've ever seen Moneyball, they love the fact that they can get on base. That Oakland A's team, he gets on base. You know, that's all they cared about. They really poured it all into the OBP. And Newmarket second in the VBL with 453 as their OBP. And you know, this team is not afraid to watch a pitch and get on base. And that's what winning teams do. They get on base, just like you saw with the 20 straight Oakland A's.
0-2 on Hines. Ground ball to the shortstop's right side. I don't think he was going to have a play regardless, but he does kick it into right field. It'll be a single for Hines. E6 allows Godby to score and Land to advance all the way around to third.
Base, almost committed for Tyler Martin.
And that's just unfortunate if you're the Royals. 2 straight errors, not really what you're looking for. Just kind of got to flush it, like I've said many times in many different games. You just got to flush it. You know, goldfish memory, just kind of forget about it.
Yeah, that one, not one where, as we mentioned, you would expect an out to be recorded, but the ball was kicked off the glove into left field. So that's where the error comes in, allowing the runners to advance. Quickly 0-2 on Tyler Martin, the 9-hitter tonight for Newmarket. Rebels now have a 1-0 lead. Currently an unearned run for Whipkey, but we'll see how the inning develops from there.
And I'm not sure if I've ever seen Newmarket score a run in the second inning. I'm not 100% sure, maybe one, but seeing that they start this early and they get the ball rolling, like I said earlier, that's promising for the Rebels.
They like to put a lot of runners on base and then not shy about bunting, stealing, and otherwise small balling their way around the bases. Tyler Martin strikes out swinging. Second out of the inning. Zach Banks gets his second opportunity of the night, this time with runners on first and third. Hines has a pretty good lead over at first. We'll keep an eye on him. Down and in, ball 1 on Banks.
And what we've learned is that if these Rebels are dancing before the pitch, that likely means that they're probably going to figure out which one they want and, run at it and try to snag that base. Not as much as a dance right there on first.
Not super secretive at first base in some cases.
They have gotten caught in a couple pickles before, if I'm not mistaken, because of that dancing.
While we're still in this inning, we're going to transition from your Oakland A's Moneyball to our trivia question for tonight. Swing and a miss, 2-1. In that movie, Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, what is Jonah Hill's character's name or nickname for Kevin Youkilis? So in the movie Moneyball, what is Jonah Hill's character's nickname? Saying that real weird. What is the character played by Jonah Hill's nickname for Kevin Youkilis? Throw that in the YouTube chat if you know the answer. 2-2 on Banks. Whipkey looking to limit the damage here in the bottom of the second. Just misses outside. That was a pretty good pitch.
Yep, call him a sniper there. That was really, really close on that outside corner, that outer third. Almost rung him up looking.
Full count, runner off. Ground ball to first. Banks is going to bust it down the line, but it'll be a 3 unassisted as Tellefson steps on the bag to end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, 2 Winchester errors, and 2 runners left on base.
Coming to the bottom of the second inning.
Trivia equation. All right, we are back as Zach Stitchway finishes off his warm-up pitches, and I think it might be a family member that had the correct answer for Kevin Euclid's nickname. Stituation 23 says the Greek god of walks, which is correct. Kevin Euclid was referred to as the Greek god of walks. And Stituation, that's a great username. I love it. First pitch from Stitchway to Maxey, called strike 1. Continues to be in the zone.
Yep, really on target there. Great start from Stitchway.
That one's lifted into right field. Lopez back on it. Makes a nice over-the-shoulder catch, F9. Lopez, an infielder by trade, so interesting to see him patrolling the outfield.
Wow, and what a start from Lopez, looking right into that setting sun. That is not an easy ball to catch, and he retreats back almost to the warning track and gloves it. Just a great baseball play there.
Yep, you can tell that there's some baseball instincts kind of built in there for Lopez. First pitch is a ball to James Pitts. I think we're going to see Lopez playing a little bit all over this summer. I've been cued in that was an ask from his school to get some reps at different positions, so 1-1 now on Pitts. High fly ball to medium deep left field. Murchison plenty of time to get under it and squeeze it for the second out of the inning. Nice efficiency there, making the Royals put the ball in play.
Well, we go from F9 to F7. 2 quick fly balls testing the corners of the outfield for the Rebels, and just great defensive play there. Sun not as much of a factor there for Murchison, but he gloves it nevertheless. And a solid inning performance from the Rebels.
First pitch to Christian Dillard, misses down for a ball. I've got one more fun money ball fact for you, Jack.
What's that, Andrew?
in the movie. The extra that was on the mound pitching to Scott Hatteberg, former Newmarket Rebel, Tim Adenoffy.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
And if I'm remembering correctly, to make that even more fun, he was actually at that game when it occurred in real life. So he was at the game as a fan, and then later on portrayed the pitcher in the movie.
How about that?
Pretty cool.
That is awesome.
That one is grounded up the middle past a diving land for a single. Dillard will reach with 2 outs. You never know where you'll see a former Rebel, whether it's banana ball, money ball, the major leagues.
Insane. Yep, and Land was on his high horse to go get that, reached out, stretched, and dived for it, just short. But a good effort play there from the shortstop.
Gonna bring up Troy Davis. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Heard that story in person from Tim when he came back to visit for an alumni weekend hosted, at this point, quite a while back, but he actually came over and had dinner with my family while he was here.
Never in a million years would I have thought that in that movie, the guy dealing that pitch in the portrayal was a former Newmarket. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
how do we know that? How do we come up with that? That's insane.
ground ball to Land at shortstop. He's gonna flip to Mallow at second. Fielder's choice will end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. We'll be back with more fun Rebel facts on the other side of this break.
Jonathan Mallow.
Jonathan Mallow leading off for the Rebels. I got one more Oakland A's Rebels factoid to get out of my head before we move on to just talking about tonight's game. In the movie Moneyball, they talk a lot about, or at least it comes up in the movie, Chad Bradford, who's undervalued because he was a submarine pitcher. 6 years later, in 2008, the Oakland A's called up another submarine pitcher, Brad Ziegler, who started his career with 39 consecutive scoreless innings in the major leagues. Brad Ziegler, Newmarket Rebel.
How about that?
Got to see him in person quite a few times. He was kind enough to hook some Rebel fans up with some tickets. Had a pretty long career with the A's and then the Diamondbacks.
That's cool.
3-1 on Mallow. Ball 4 inside. Cannot remember off the top of my head exactly all of the names, but I think it was the 2000 Newmarket Rebels. 4 members of that starting rotation ended up playing in the major leagues at one point or another. All out of the leagues now. Chris Ray, who's a closer for the Orioles. I think the other one was named Brad Bergeson, who at least had a cup of tea with the Nationals. But yeah, 4 members of that 2000 pitching staff that made it to the big leagues. 1-0 on Matt Murchison, the left fielder. Keep an eye on Mallow over at first. He is a threat to steal. Hard hit ground ball into the screen in front of the visitors' dugout. A little bigger lead for Mallow this time. Not going. Skied in the field to right. I think it was hit just a little too high, or that one might have had home run distance. As it is, Dillard is able to settle under it and collect it for the first out. That was a long, high fly ball.
Yep, was excited there. Thought we might be able to see the first Newmarket home run on the season, but just a little bit under it and pops it up to the right fielder, Dillard, and he's under it.
That's one where maybe a centimeter difference between being a long home run and a long pop-up.
Right.
Matt Murphy in, swing and a miss. Murchison really continues to hit the ball hard here early in the season.
And you know it's a big pop-up when us in the media booth, we can't even see it because it goes over the roof, so it's out of our line of sight. You know that he hit that thing really into the mesosphere, if you will, real high.
Mallow in motion. Pitch was up and into Murphy, and Mallow easily has second base stolen. Not much the catcher Pitts could do on that one. Yeah, I would classify that as a major league fly ball, even though it only went about 300 feet. It was skied up there. That one's lifted deep down the left field line, but hooking foul. Just over the pavilion where the Rebels have their post-game meal.
That one made me stand up in my seat a little bit. The contact sounded good. However, just a little bit too far left. A bit early on it.
Down and in for ball 2. It is a tradition here in Newmarket. Home-cooked meal for the team after every game. A lot of times, interns, broadcasters, administrators. Big crowd out under the pavilion. Swing and a miss. Looked like maybe a changeup. Murphy goes down swinging. Bring up Jonathan Lopez.
That chicken Alfredo the other night was awesome. It was great.
I think so far this year we've had chili, baked ham, and then chicken Alfredo as our post-game meals. First pitch to Lopez. Mitch is just a bit outside.
Good play by Pitts there to be able to keep that from getting past him and allowing Mallow to get to third there. That would be a freebie if that one got past him. He was able to get up and grab it.
That fastball is high, ball 2. Whipkey at 48 pitches now in his third inning of work. Outside, doesn't seem to want to give Lopez anything to hit here. Johnny had a big hit last night, driving in a couple runs.
Yep, 2 RBI hit last night against Harrisonburg. Got a
I
chance
must
to-
admit, I tried to follow that one and fell asleep on the couch.
No, that was a late one. And he's looking to get another RBI and start a streak here for 2 games by driving in Mallow, who's threatening in scoring position.
Ball forward to Lopez. He will head on down to first base. Bring up Grayson Godby. Designated hitter with a chance to do some damage.
Yep, and never mind about that RBI. He watches that pitch and cruises over to first. 390 feet there for the Rebels. Yet another walk.
Don't have the number, and I don't know if this even recorded anywhere, but I wonder what the Valley League record for walks in a season is, because probably Newmarket and Winchester both on pace for that. We talked about the record for the individual with the most walks in a season in our previous broadcast, Jason Kipnis, who went on to have a prolific major league career. If you're interested in recent Valley League history and records, you can visit the website allthingsvalleyleague.com. Lots of good information there. That one's ripped down the left field line. Going to be extra bases for Godby. See if Lopez has a chance to score. He will not, as the ball bounces over the left field fence. Ground rule double for Godby. That was a rocket off the bat of the Western Kentucky infielder.
Yeah, and that's how you kickstart an offense right there. How about that? Just a great hit. You could hear that thing up in the mountains way over there. That was a big, big drive, big contact there.
Probably cost the Rebels a run by bouncing over the fence. That is in the one area of the park that is out of view for us, especially for Jack. He's one spot over pinched off more than I am, but
Almost leaning into your into your seat there, almost leaning into your computer, trying to get a view of that one.
the roof of the Rebel dugout cuts off the left field corner no matter where you are in the press box. Meanwhile, Maddox Land at the plate, and it's a 1-2 count after that foul tip. Breaking ball misses outside. Rebels now taking a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the third with an opportunity to tack on a couple more if Maddox Land can find his first hit. That one misses up and away, or up and in. Ball 3.
Must be really tough for Land being, really maybe impatient, waiting all these games to get a hit and
Taking a lot of walks.
taking a lot of walks.
Hasn't worked out to put the ball in play for a hit yet.
Really,
Count is now full.
really looked like he was going to take a walk there, but the umpire says no.
That one misses inside, and Land does indeed draw another walk. Bases full of Rebels for Josh Hines, the catcher.
And really no question about that one. He had to kind of scoot out of the way to get out of the way of that so he didn't get plunked. And it's not the most exciting brand of baseball if you're walking every time, but hey, you're getting runners on base and setting up RBIs and you're setting up wins at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter. But, the fans may be coming here looking for some big hits and home runs. You may not see that, but you'll see wins.
That one must have slipped out of Whipke's hand behind Hines' head by a couple feet. And that's going to prompt a visit from a Winchester coach. Coaches are not wearing numbers, so not even going to try to figure out who that is, but we'll presume it's the pitching coach.
Yep, and you see Whipke grabbing that rosin bag before that pitch, maybe a little bit of a difference in grip there after, kind of taking a few seconds to, hold on to that and kind of adjust it. And, maybe that's the culprit of what caused that crazy pitch that went behind, if I'm not mistaken, Hines. So
Yep.
maybe he should stay off of that, maybe, but who
Worth
knows?
noting, it's probably the first night you would classify as hot for this Valley League season. Did get into the 90s in Virginia, where it tends to be humid, not a dry heat like out west. So
Did
I know
not
I
even
was
bring
sweating
my-
before the games.
There is movement in that Royals bullpen way out in right field. Doesn't look like there's going to be any change in action here, however. Hey, he grabs that bag again. How about that?
Pretty long visit there. May have been a bit of a stall to make sure the relief pitcher has time to get ready in case they need him here shortly. May play in Whipke's favor here that we're at the bottom of the Newmarket order. Although I would say line up pretty deep for Newmarket. Damage comes from all over. "1-0. This is outside.
Yep, Newmarket's got hitters and, should I say, walkers all around that lineup who really know how to take a pitch and really know how to drive one as well. Just a solid lineup for the Rebels.
Chopped foul. We've talked about it almost every game at this point, but have a lot of bases loaded walks. I think we were at 6. At least already. 8? 8 bases loaded walks for the Rebels already. That one bounces in. 3-1. Another opportunity looking for bases loaded walk number 9. Shout out to Brandon Whitaker, who's playing producer tonight. He's going to make his broadcast debut tomorrow night. But he's the man on the cameras and providing us with lots of fun facts throughout the games.
Producer, statistician mini action, you know what I'm saying?
Hard ground ball in the hole at short, backhanded. He's going to go to third. Fortunate for the Royals that there was a force play there. Fielder's choice for Hines. Grayson Godby retired 6-5. That'll be the last out of the inning. Rebels score 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Winchester errors and 3 runners left on base.
Over the bottom of the third.
We are back. Ground ball to third. Past a diving Tyler Martin. Good effort, but couldn't get to that hard hit ball from Todd Abraham, who is on with a leadoff single. Just posted it in the chat, but Parents Weekend will be June 26th through the 28th here in Newmarket. I think you'll get 2 home games, one somewhat close by away game that weekend. Lots of other activities planned. Hope that all of you parents listening can make it. Popped up on the infield. Murphy is under it. Squeezes it for out number 1. He looked a little uncertain for a moment there, but was able to squeeze it.
Looks like Portman was kind of trying to run him down, almost getting his way. So Murphy kind of takes a quick glance down to see if he's in the way of Fortman, who could, if he's technically in the baseline, just kind of bump him a little bit or nudge him, maybe make him slip up, but he's not in the way, and he makes that easy grab.
Ditchway tries a front door breaking ball, but stays inside for ball 1 on Cameron Tellefson. Two 2-0 now on Tellefson. Abraham over at first base. Conservative lead. And he bumps that out just a little bit further. There's a called strike on a breaking ball. Runner is moving, swing and a miss. Throw from Hines. Little bit of a short hop for Mallow, who couldn't quite get the tag down in time. Stolen base.
Wow, mighty close there. If that throw down from Hines didn't bounce, I think he had him.
Right on line, but hit maybe a foot in front of the bag.
Right.
Good effort. 2-2 from Stitchway. That one looked like it maybe slipped out of his hand and stays up for a ball.
That's not an uncommon thing, having the ball slip out. You know, sometimes you get that grip and you're kind of holding down on that ball really, really tight sometimes. Sometimes you hold it a little bit looser, and when you hold it looser, it's easier.
Hard hit into left field. Murchison fields it cleanly, throws it into Martin, the cutoff man. Abraham stays at third. But Royals are threatening here in the top of the 4th. Ditchway at 42 pitches. Could be getting to that part of the night where he starts to tire. We mentioned earlier, may not be like stretched out as a starter. Fastball outside. Rebels have mostly employed the bullpen game strategy, getting 3 or 4 from their starter and turning it over to a pretty dominant bullpen.
Hey, like the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, working great. I mean, they're first, you know, in the North Division for the Valley League, so just keep doing it and just see what happens. And, you know, it's working really well for them.
Lined into right field. That'll be an RBI single for Harris. Was not a cheapie. He hit that one hard. It'll drive in Abraham. Tellefson stops at second, and that'll get a visit from the catcher Hines. Currently nobody throwing in the Newmarket bullpen. I expect that'll probably change pretty quickly here. Stitchway been very good thus far, but showing some signs of tiring.
And just like that, it's a one-run game. A couple minutes ago, it was really all Rebels, and now Royals knocking on the door here with another one in scoring position with only one away.
Brady Benavidez at the plate. Feels like this could be a pivot point in this game. Double play, you're out of the inning, limited damage, a big hit, and Winchester could take the lead.
Yep, a solid early test for the Rebels here.
Pretty good looking breaking ball there. Must have just missed. 1-1.
And Stitchway's been finding that breaking ball here early. He's been twisting it all over the place, contorting everything everywhere, and it's still finding a way. Get really close to that
Pop
strike zone.
fly, deep right field, down the line. Lopez had a long way to go and could not get there. Probably covered close to 100 feet trying to get to that ball, which ended up landing about 10 feet foul.
He was roaming out there.
So in the end, that'll just be a long strike, 1-2 on Benavidez. Stitchway would love a strikeout here if he can't get the ground ball. That fastball pulled down and away.
Yeah, Lopez went from the Lou Gray Cavern sign all the way to that, foul territory. Just a really big distance covered there.
Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch got the job done. Benavidez goes down swinging, which will leave it up to Ryan Maxey with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position.
And that's how you shut out any noise on the mound. Get a nice swinging strike, just what the doctor ordered, with runners threatening. Just kind of focus in, saying, hey, I'm in control here. This is all me.
Change of pace certainly got the job done. First pitch called, strike on Maxey. That was a high fastball. Looks like lefty Colby Jarman is up in the pen for the Rebels. Continued action in the bullpen for Winchester as well. May see a pitching change on their side of things in the bottom of the 4th. That breaking ball misses low. 2-1. Rebels wearing their traditional home uniforms. Dark blue tops, white pants, and blue stirrup socks. Foul tip secured by Hines. 2-2-2 now across the top of the C. Bruce Aldrich Game Center here at Rebel Park. That one's ripped into right center field. It is going to go all the way to the wall. Banks is going to fire it in. There may be a play at the plate. The relay from Land is not in time. The 2-out, 2 RBI double for Maxey. Harris and Tellefson both come around to score. And the Royals have fought back and taken the lead here in the top half of the 4th inning.
There's really no label to put on that one. I kind of called it a L8/9 because it's right in that perfect center. And another
hard hit ball into right field. Lopez scoops it. Strong throw in, but it is up the first base line, and that'll be an RBI single for Pitts. And things have gone south quickly for the Rebels and Zach Stitchway.
Yeah, that's really not what you're hoping with 2 outs and, 2 strikes, but you just got to focus in here, kind of flush it. You've been coming back in games all year long. Why not do it again?
Rebel pitching coach Mark Davis out for a quick word. Christian Dillard will be the next Royal with a chance at the plate. Righty on righty matchup. I'm guessing this will be Stitchway's last batter either way. Jarman been throwing in the Rebel bullpen for a little bit now.
But if I will say, what an inning from the Royals. How about that? 2 away, and you knock in that many runs in that short amount of time. I mean, that's just a great baseball inning. Just solid contact, solid hitting. Really nothing the Rebels can do.
Yep, Royals have looked good here in the top of the 4th. After the visit, Stitchway quickly ahead 0-2. And upstairs with the fastball trying to get the whiff to end the inning, but Dillard fights it off into the neighboring yards. Kids took off after that one, but I think they'll be disappointed.
It actually bounced back right in front of the front Royal benches there of the fans. Somehow, I don't know how it really bounced back, but found its way in front, and a young Rebels fan picks it up and has a little souvenir to take home.
Swing and a miss. Nice fastball from Stitchway ends the inning. Royals score 4 runs on 5 hits. There were no Newmarket errors and 1 runner left on base. Tyler Martin will lead things off for the Rebels on the other side of this break. Tyler Martin gonna lead things off for the Rebels here against new Royals pitcher Antonio Sansone. I think that's Sansone or Sansoni.
I think it could go both ways. There's definitely one answer.
Gonna go with Sansone, but if
Sansone.
that's incorrect and you're in the know in the comments, let us know and we'll get that fixed for you. First pitch to Martin, floated out to shortstop. Looks like it was secured. I could not tell initially if that was a one hop or just caught. It'll be L6 for Martin and Zach Banks.
Number 9.
Wow, we've seen Fortman flying around in his spot tonight. Just another great play. 2 big-time plays that require him to hustle over to second base in a timely fashion.
Banks tries to get a bunt down and pops it foul. While we were in our little commercial break there, or just a break, no commercials here, man behind the curtain, Brandon, did a little research, and at least in the last few years, 289 is the team record for walks. Rebels well on pace for that. Called strike 0-2 on Banks. I think the Rebels would currently be on pace for 360 or so.
And Sanson, Felician, I think it's Felician or Felician.
Felician, I believe.
Felician, 23 innings pitched and 21 strikeouts. Pretty solid stat there.
Just under a strikeout per inning. Worth mentioning that with a lot of these records, the season used to be a little bit longer than it is, especially this year. Valley playing 36 games as opposed to traditionally 42 or 44. That has changed as teams have come and gone, divisions have come and gone. One thing that has stayed the same, Newmarket's presence in the Valley League. 103 years of baseball with only a brief interruption for World War II. Banks goes down swinging, so quickly 2 outs recorded for Sansone.
And Sansone also played some ball at Stockton University, and by some ball, I mean 3 years. He missed a 2024 season due to some injury, but 2023 appeared in 9 games, and 2025 also 9 appearances on the mound, and 6 of them were starts.
Here's Jonathan Mallow, lefty on lefty battle. Hard hit ground ball to third, gloved cleanly, throw across is in time. That's a very quick 1-2-3 inning for the Royals.
Didn't even have to move to grab that, him being
New pitcher for the Rebels here in the top half of the fifth inning is going to be Aiden Jacobs, right-handed pitcher out of Northeast Mississippi. I think this is already his third appearance of the young season.
"15 appearances for him in 2026 for the Tigers of Northeast Mississippi Community College. 29.2 innings pitched in those 15 appearances.
And struggling to find the zone here early against Troy Davis. Davis ahead in the count 3-0.
Sometimes those warm-up pitches can kind of go by really fast, and you only get a certain set amount, and sometimes it's not enough to get your arm ready and loose. Obviously, it's a little bit different if you got a lot of time in the bullpen to warm up, but Jacobs kind of goes out there, gets a couple pitches, and is looking to try to refocus here on this second at bat.
Yep, that's a 4-pitch walk for Troy Davis. Todd Abraham is in, and Jacobs finds the strike zone for the first time. Nice fastball for a called strike. Mountain just starting to disappear into the darkness out behind the right center field fence. Lights have taken full effect. Called strike on a low inside pitch. Jacobs ahead in the count, 0-2, runner going. Strong throw down to second. Oh, pops out of Mallow's glove. Think the throw may have been beat by Davis, who had a pretty big jump, but couldn't ask for much more from Hines there.
Yeah, great throw down from Hines. Probably a little bit frustrated that his last pitch that was pretty much a sure out that bounced in the dirt on his throw down. He definitely did not bounce it there.
Nope, very strong throw. Royals have a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top half of the fifth inning for Todd Abraham. He chops it on the ground to third. Martin, nice play on the short hop, throws across, pops out of the glove of Murphy. It's going to be an error on the catch at first base. You don't see that super often. Murphy stretched for a throw. It was a little high, but certainly manageable.
And that's one of the moments that kind of takes years off your life as a first baseman when, usually that comfortable and usual feeling of catching it and, knowing it's in and, it's gloved cleanly. When that escapes you, it's kind of shocking and jarring a little bit.
So first and third here, and first pitch plunks Fortman. So in a heartbeat, the bases are full of Royals. Aiden Jacobs is in a bunch of trouble, not all of his own doing. Jarman still throwing in the bullpen for the Rebels. See if Jacobs can work out of trouble here and at least limit the damage. Breaking ball finds the zone for strike one.
Well, if you want to start to get momentum back, you throw a pitch like that. How about that? Nice little break right in there for strike one. Good start to this count.
Hard hit ball to shortstop. Land's gonna bobble it, go to third. Thrown away there. It'll be another error, this time on the shortstop Land, and everybody moves up 60 feet, including Davis, who comes around to score. Bit of a sloppy defensive inning for the Rebels. There is some discussion perhaps about interference at third base. Safe signal is given. Not sure whether that would have been in regards to members of the Rebel coaching staff that are sitting on chairs just outside the dugout, or in regards to the third base coach, who was also very close to that play. Regardless, Cooper Harris now at the plate against Aiden Jacobs. 1 run is in. The bases are still loaded with nobody out. Rebels in a world of hurt here. That one's roped into left field. Left center field. It's booted by the center fielder, Banks. That's going to allow another run to come in and score. It's going to be a bases clearing single with an error allowing the runner to advance.
Yeah, that's bad to worse for the Rebels as Banks bobbles that ball on the throw in a little bit and allows for a couple more runs to come in. Just a rough turn of events for the Rebels as this game starts to get quickly out of hand.
So clean single that's into the left center field gap was then misplayed by the center fielder Banks, which allowed an additional run to come across and the batter to advance to second. That was Cooper Harris. Brings up Brady Benavides, who's behind 0-1 now. Cooper Harris at second. Royals have opened an 8-2 lead after back-to-back 4-run innings, and they're looking to do more damage here in the 5th. Jacobs giving up a little bit of hard contact. Walked a man, hit a man, but also some spotty defense. Runner dancing off of second. Pitch is a breaking ball that falls out of the zone low.
And this is kind of the inning that keeps you up at night if you're a coach or a player committing an error, or a coach watching this really not able to do anything about it.
Called strike 3, dotted a fastball on the outside corner. Benavides had a low body English, indicating he didn't like it.
And a much needed out there for the Rebels to kind of stop this bleeding.
Nice looking breaking ball, misses inside. Three errors in the inning for Newmarket, resulting in 4 Winchester runs. We'll have to do some double checking, but I believe all 4 are going to be unearned at this point.
And this is the kind of inning that a coach will just really play over and over and over if you have the technology to, replay and with film, but probably not film here in the Valley Baseball League. But just 3 innings is a really tough number, especially really for any team to be given up. So hopefully in the next coming innings, the errors will kind of subside, if you will.
Popped up on the left side. Martin, the third baseman, is going to call off land and secure it for the second out of the inning.
Well, now you got 2 straight outs. Looking to get a third and final one here in this fifth to take care of this pretty, I won't say monstrosity, I would call it, but a rough inning. Let's just call it that.
Yep, definitely been a rough inning for the Rebels. Nice fastball swung on and missed. Jacob seems to have settled down a little bit and is filling up the zone now. Was a little wild at the start of the inning and then some defensive miscues behind him.
Yep, and at the end of the day, like you said, no really earned runs, and it's not a 10 spot. You know, you're not giving up 10 runs in one inning like we've seen before, so, you know, there's always a silver lining in baseball, especially here. Definitely talking points, I think, in the dugout here in this next break after this third out coming hopefully soon for the Rebels.
Feel like Jacobs is reaching back for a little bit extra, pops another fastball in there, swung on and missed, and he is one strike away from ending this less than ideal top of the fifth for Newmarket.
We know Newmarket had a 10-run inning in the bottom of the fifth, so maybe they can repeat some history here.
Ground ball to second. Mallow up with it, throws to first for the 4-3 putout to end the top of the fifth. Royals score 4 runs on 1 hit, 3 errors, 1 runner left on base. Newmarket will look to chip away at that 6-run lead in the bottom half of the fifth after this. And we're back with Matt Murchison leading off for the Rebels, looking to chip away at that 6-run lead. Rebels have overcome 2 6-run or 5-run deficits at Rebel Park already this year, so certainly not out of it. Those did come a little earlier in games, but big swing and a miss at a fastball up by his head. 0-2.
And if I'm Newmarket, I just forget about that inning. That's baseball. Sometimes that happens. Just a rough turn of events. But this team has been down, and they've came back for multiple runs just by watching pitches. So, battle, extend those counts, and just get on base, and everything will be all right, I think.
Murchison takes a called strike 3. He goes down on 3 pitches. Then I'll bring up Matt Murphy.
Front of the first baseman from Holy Beacon College. Number 28, Matt Murphy.
I'll maybe put a little jinx there accidentally on Matt Murchison as he goes down looking on that one 3 straight. When looking at pitches, that's not exactly what I meant, but
That one's flared into shallow center field. Might be trouble. It is going to get down for a hit for Matt Murphy. Another one, he didn't hit it super hard, but he hit it in the right place, and the Rebels have a runner on for Johnny Lopez.
yep, and that's blue baseball. Just landed right in that little gap. Hard for people to get. It's works pretty much every time when you do it, when you execute it correctly, and 1 runner on for the Rebels with 1 gone.
Yeah, you know Murphy really wanted to be able to get on base there after a bit of a rough defensive play in the top half of that inning. First pitch to Lopez is a ball. Pickoff throw to first. Instead called a balk. So Murphy will advance to second. One of those moves from a left-handed pitcher, they got to be careful that they go towards first base with the lead leg and not towards home while their arms go into first.
Yep, did a little pitching myself in Little League, and I was always, you know, not every game, but I definitely got some balk warnings before.
Home plate umpire flinched a bit on that one, but ultimately does not move, so it's ball 2. Lopez ahead in the count.
And dealing with lefty pitchers, it's just a really hard line to walk when you're on first, because it's really easy for them to pick you off and you to make a mistake. Really, one bad look, one blink, really blinking, you'll miss it, and the ball's coming right back, at first. And there's really nothing for you to do except dive back and pray that something happens on the way. Hard dealing.
Some of
with
those lefties are super deceptive with their that step that's about 45 degrees and right on the line of are they stepping to first or are they stepping towards home. I'm a big Chicago Cubs fan. They have a lefty, Matthew Boyd, that's up there and leading the league for pickoffs almost every year, and he is very much in the 50-50, is that a balk or not zone. Lopez takes ball 4. I believe that's his second walk of the night. Rebels have 2 men on for Grayson Godby. Laced a double down the left field line in his previous at-bat.
Designated 33, Grayson.
Maddox Land waiting on deck. First pitch to Godby misses upstairs. That one finds the zone. Looked like a breaking ball of some sort. Still had good velocity, though.
That's the kind of breaking ball that, like I said before, keeps you up at night. That's a really, I wouldn't call it a, really hittable pitch, but it was definitely in there. Contact was definitely a possibility, and he watches that one go by and break back in for a strike.
Next pitch also finds the zone, this time on the inside corner, and Godby's behind 1-2. Watches that one low, 2-2. Pretty good crowd at the ballpark tonight. Not a whole bunch of fans on the Winchester side. Winchester, a little over an hour's drive to the north of Newmarket. Big swing and a miss at a fastball. Godby goes down swinging. They'll leave it up to Maddox Land. Get the job done with runner in scoring position.
Wow, almost swung out of his shoes there. Big time swing, 180 degrees.
Stop. 12, Maddox.
He didn't get cheated. He definitely
not.
went down taking a hack. Here's Maddox Land now. Batting right-handed, switch hitter. Flares that one into right. Could be trouble. It is down in front of the right fielder. It's going to be an RBI single. First hit of the season for Land. Lopez is able to trot over to third base.
When we were talking about it, maybe being a little bit impatient, and his patience finally paid off. He gets his first hit of the season, drops it in there. Nice little hit.
Land gets the RBI there. Bring up Josh Hines with a chance to do some damage. Land definitely a threat to steal at first. He's dancing over there, but stays put as the high fastball swung on and missed. Land has a big lead, perhaps even a dangerous lead with the left-handed pitcher. Hines pops that one foul, and he's behind 0-2.
And if I remember correctly, Land in the season opener against Woodstock, he stole third and then he got home on a errant throw by the catcher. So he's definitely, like you said, he's got the ability to take those bases and swipe them. So definitely keep an eye on first.
Still has that big lead. That one's ripped into center field. I believe it's going to hang up, though, for the center fielder, Davis. Hines hit it hard, just not in a good spot. It'll be an L8 for Hines. Rebels score 1 on 2 hits, no Winchester errors, 2 runners left on base. We'll be back for the top half of the 6th.
Over the bottom of the fifth.
Christian Dillard going to lead off for the Royals against another Newmarket pitcher, Colby Jarman out of UNCW, taking over for Aiden Jacobs. Rebels looking for a clean inning after back-to-back 4-run innings from the Royals. And steps off. Might have been a sign issue there. A lot of times if the umpire goes out with the catcher, you can get a free consultation on signs. That does not count as a mound visit. Now we're ready for action. Nice fastball is fouled off.
And Colby Jarman, excuse me, didn't have much stats for UNCW. In fact, he didn't really have any. So I think he's using the Valley League as a chance to kind of say, here, look at me perform, watch me do this, to UNCW, maybe let him get a couple more pitches in there in the CAA. Obviously, CAA is pretty good baseball league.
That one's lifted into right center. Banks, headlong dive, and a very nice catch. Wasn't sure if Lopez or Banks had a better chance at that one, but Banks takes control, makes a diving catch in right center field. Kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah, and put a star on your scorebook for that one. He laid out for that one, as you would say, a star on your scorebook. But wow, what a highlight play there.
Yeah, that one gets the da-na-na, da-na-na
Yeah, that one
treatment.
That one gets a top 10.
That'll bring up Troy Davis, who takes the first pitch for a called strike.
Solid pitch there from Jarman.
Now, like you mentioned, Jarman, a redshirt freshman, did not get any action this spring, but looking to get some innings with the Rebels. Swing and a miss. Looking good so far here tonight. Used to get UNCW into town fairly often when James Madison University, which is just about 20 minutes south of here, was in the CAA. They have moved to the Sun Belt. That boy races out for that one. Had a little fun with the Royals on deck hitter. One-two pitch to Davis. Inside, almost hit him.
And seeing what JMU did, how they transferred from the CAA straight into D1 ball and become such a it factor immediately. It's just really inspiring. It's awesome, and it shows these, smaller D1 teams that they can do it too. And just a really incredible story from JMU.
Very strong athletic department there at JMU. Had a season, I believe it was 2 years ago, did not have a single sports team finish below 500 across the board. Chopped off of home plate over to third. Don't think they were going to have a play no matter what happened on that one. Looks like it hit off the plate or right in front of the plate and skipped way up in the air. So that'll be a hit for Davis.
Really no harm, no foul there. Don't really want to risk it by firing it over to Murphy when the runner's pretty much already on the base and risk having another unfortunate error where it gets past him.
Yeah, Jarman and Martin weren't quite sure who was going to field it, and nobody fielded it, but like you said, no harm, no foul, because would have been a base hit either way. That'll bring up Todd Abraham. First pitch to him is a fastball down and in. Looks like Jarman's working in the mid to upper 80s.
And he does have a changeup and curveball in his arsenal, according to Prep Baseball. Maybe looking to try to rein in, if you will, those, curveballs and, changeups so far. I've seen a couple breaking pitches they've missed, and whoa.
That's a wild pitch
Yeah,
outside, going to allow the runner to move up 90 feet.
That's a really wild pitch. Wow.
Yeah, that was a few feet outside, past the catcher Hines. Allows Davis to scoot over to second base, takes the double play out of play. And Abraham's way ahead, 3-0.
Very hitter-friendly count here. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take a huge swing here.
Fastball misses down and in, ball 4. Small positive for the Rebel. That does put the double play back as an opportunity. Not currently any action in either bullpen, although there is now some stirring in the Rebel bullpen, so. Like it's Jarman's inning for at least the near future.
And Fortman's still looking for his first hit of the night after getting plunked in the 5th inning. And he got put away on a double play and a pop out to first.
Has done some nice defensive work.
Yes.
He's behind 0-1. Conservative league out at second. Fouled at the plate.
Fortman's been playing great, but I got to give the play of the game so far to Zach Banks on that diving grab. Just an incredible play in center.
I think that one's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah. That might be the play of the week here for the next couple of weeks.
I think it has a strong chance. 0-2 on Fortman. See if Jarman can put him away. Goes to the upstairs fastball. Does not get the swing. 1-2. Jackson Jones now up in the Rebel bullpen. Lefty out of Louisiana Tech. 1-2. Looked like he went to the changeup there. Misses low. Not a bad pitch ahead in the count. 1-2. Runner's moving. Ground ball to third. Pops out of Martin's glove. Has time. Throws it across to get one. Not sure if there would have been a double play opportunity there. Regardless, with the runners in motion. So it'll be a 5-3. Both runners advance. So Abraham on second. Davis on third. Tellefson at the plate.
And we've been seeing balls pop out of gloves all night there. Kind of held my breath really quick as that one pops high out of the glove of Martin, but he's able to collect it and fire it over in time.
A little bit of a tougher than normal chance where Martin, with the runner coming right across his face, kind of very close to the ball.
You ever wonder if, that might have thrown him off a little bit on his, read of the ball there?
I think it's certainly possible. The runner in motion, he was really kind of peeling into third right as the ball was getting there, so. Base umpire acts to check the ball. He's going to throw it out of play. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't think I have either. Wonder what would have caused that.
Maybe a visible marker on the ball or something. But yeah, base umpire Steve Williams steps in, makes Jarman get rid of that baseball. 2-0 pitch inside Tellefson.
Really don't think I've seen anything like that in my life. That is really interesting. I'd like to get a little explanation from the umpire because of that.
3-0 now on Tellefson, in the driver's seat against Jarman. Jarman not scared, fires a fastball in there for a called strike. Do have an open base at first base, but probably would prefer not to load the bases here.
Definitely not. I think that's worst case scenario.
Fouled off, Jarman's fighting back. See if maybe he can pull the string on a breaking ball and get it in the zone here, or close enough to draw a swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, foul tip. Hines holds on to it, and Jarman works out of the jam. No runs on one hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Tyler Martin gonna lead off for the Rebels in the bottom of the 6th on the other side of this break. Yeah, good job fighting. Martin's actually. Tyler Martin gonna lead things off for the Rebels. Shows bunt, fouls it back. Caught either the umpire or catcher, could not tell.
Looked like the umpire there, and that'll definitely wake you up.
Glancing blow. Martin behind 0-1. Swing and a miss. Lifts that one down the left field line. Should get down for a hit. It is fair. Martin digging for 2. Dives headfirst into second base with a double. Martin showed some good speed on that play. I haven't really had a chance to see him run yet. And he's got some wheels.
Yeah, he was moving there and, had to dive in there for good measure. Didn't really need it. He could have walked on in there and nice, solid contact. Good Kickstarter for the Rebels. Let's see if they can tack on some more here.
Yeah, good start. Leadoff man on second. Nobody out. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Zach Banks in the form of number 25, Joe Terranova. Comes out of Southeast Missouri State. We'll see a shuffle in the outfield in the next inning. See who takes over in center. Hopefully Banks wasn't shaken up on that diving grab earlier.
Yeah, you would hope not, because I definitely want to see more plays like that in the future, because, wow, I can't get enough of that thing. That was awesome.
2-0 on Terranova. Torino, as that one misses way up high. Jonathan Mallow on deck. Probably the most prolific hitter for Newmarket so far this year. Could also just be trying to work players in. Rebels have done a lot of that in the early going. Trying to make sure to get everybody opportunities.
And Mallow's seen a lot of action tonight. He's got great contact. Unfortunately, he has gotten a hit, but he did get a walk earlier in the third. Looking to get his first of the night, but great contact so far for him.
3-1 to Terranova is head high for ball 4. Yeah, Mallow got the early opportunities as a returning player, kind of rewarded for his loyalty, and has hit so well it's been almost impossible to take him out of the lineup.
I mean, it's a win-win. You got a familiar face and you got a really good hitter. And I mean, why take him out? There's really no reason to even think about taking him out. And he's doing great so far on this young season.
Shows bunt, takes a ball. Third baseman playing in, first baseman playing back, so it could be an opportunity to drag one down the first base line and beat it out for a hit. Also a left-handed pitcher, which can make fielding that play for a pitcher a little bit more awkward. Not holding the runner at first. Terranova has a big lead. Mallow stabs at it, comes up empty. Throw to second, and they have picked Martin off of second base. The back pick works after the
That's just a head shaker right
can't
there.
have that.
Yeah, you cannot
You're
have
down
that.
5, trying to cut into a lead, and now Mallow pops it up on the infield. Should be an easy play for the first baseman, Tellefson. Boy, what a momentum killer. All of a sudden, 2 outs and only 1 runner on.
Yep, that's like you're driving on a racetrack with a V8 engine and it blows up on you. That's just a complete momentum killer. There's just complete, all the spin in the wheels is just gone. 2 outs now with only 1 on. That's just a really, really tough pill to swallow for the Rebels.
Here's Matt Murchison with tough duty against the lefty pitcher. Pickoff there to first. That one's thrown away. It's going to get over the fence.
Completely out of the ballpark and into a neighboring yard on that one. Slipped through the fence there.
So the Rebels once again have a runner in scoring position. Murchison can find some green grass in the outfield. Rebels could cut the lead to 4. First pitch, low for a ball. Murchison been hitting the ball hard. It feels like it might be time for him to hook one into the Royals bullpen. Steady lifts it into deep center. It will hang up for Davis. And a promising inning for the Rebels fizzles. No runs on one hit. There was one error and one runner left on base.
Coming in bottom of the 6th, no runs on one.
Cooper Harris going to lead off for the Royals against new Rebel pitcher Jackson Jones, who blasts a fastball by him to get things started. Curveball misses. Crowd hanging in there as we approach 10 o'clock Eastern time in Newmarket. Joe Terranova stays in the game playing center field. And that fastball misses low and away. 2-1.
Thing about Jones is he can definitely sling and he's got a really good arm on him, but the accuracy, maybe he's trying to bring it in a little bit there, but another great pitch there.
2-2 after that fastball finds the outside edge. Maybe a footing issue there as that fastball's kind of bounced in there.
Sometimes as a pitcher, you got to find that footing, and sometimes you kind of slip a little bit in those first few pitches. It's just getting comfortable on the mound.
And outside fastball is going to generate a leadoff walk for Cooper Harris and the Royals. looking to add some insurance run to their 5-run lead. Brady Benavida is going to get the next chance.
Benavides 3 straight strikeouts on 3 at-bats, looking to right the ship there. 2 swinging, 1 looking. So not the greatest day at the plate, but you know, any swing can really change the momentum of a day and really change the morale.
If you're a Rebel fan, you might be rooting for him to swing and hit a ground ball to shortstop. Curveball misses inside. A lot of movement, but started inside and finished inside from Jones. Making his second appearance for Newmarket. Got a start early on. Ran into some bad luck on that one. A couple fluky hits, I would say.
I feel like most of the, you know, not all of them obviously, but most of the hits that Newmarket has to deal with, they're just unlucky. A lot of them are unlucky. A lot of scoring chances are.
Oh, nice attempt at a back pick there from Hines. Bang, bang play. This time it does not go the Rebels' favor. Certainly close.
Yeah, that was really close. If he was safe by the skin of his teeth. And Jones, another lefty pitcher here. It's been a lot of a lefty pitcher battle tonight. 2 straight lefty pitchers, I believe, for Newmarket.
Strong left-handed contingent for Newmarket this summer, both pitching and hitting. A lot of switch hitters, a lot of lefty options both ways, which really plays well at Rebel Park.
And I did not have it in my notes that Maddox Land was a switch hitter. I had no idea about that.
I think he might even be listed as a not listed as a switch hitter on the roster.
Yeah, my notes I have him as a right thrower and a right hitter. So when I saw him pull out the lefty, or excuse me, the right, I was confused to go to the other side.
And first opportunity as a right-handed hitter resulted in his first hit.
Yes.
Now we got a lefty-lefty matchup as Ryan Maxey is in to face off Jackson Jones. One now, keeping an eye on the runner at first. Fastball in on the hands, fouled off by Maxey, and Jones is ahead 1-2. Little bit of stirring in the Rebel bullpen. But no real action, just some milling around. That curveball is well outside for ball 2.
I'm Jones here. I'm painting that inside corner. He's getting.
Tried to reach back for something extra there and didn't quite get on top of it. Misses upstairs. Full count now on Maxey. See if the Royals decide to put Harris in motion with full count and 1 out. They do not, but the ball misses high for ball 4. So Harris will get to trot on down to second. Maxey gets a free pass.
Not exactly what you're looking for as a pitcher after you strike out one of the best hitters on the team, looking and then you get ahead in the count, and then you surrender a walk. That's not really what you're looking for there, but just refocus in here with a runner now in scoring position for the Royals.
James Pitts gonna get a chance with that runner in scoring position. Jones really struggling to be in the zone here.
Seen a lot of outside pitches that were, not the closest in the world, but he's just got to refocus here and deliver.
There's a nice curveball. Ended up out of the zone, but probably looked like it was going to be right down the middle. To the batter, Pitts. One ball, one strike, one out, playing in the top of the 7th. Winchester holding on to a 5-run lead.
Anything we know about these Rebels is you can never count them out. One inning and they're back in the game, especially in a 5-score game.
Yes, as we've mentioned, have already come back from 2 5-run deficits this year, averaging around 10 runs a game. Jones misses again. 3-1. A lot of these misses have not been particularly close. The stuff looks good, but the command has been a little bit questionable. That one's way upstairs for ball 4. Would have been a wild pitch if the runners weren't already advancing. Bases full of Royals. See if we might get a visit from the pitching coach here.
Well, worst case scenario there for the Rebels, 1 away. And now you got a good hitter in Christian Dillard coming up. So you just got to focus in here, look to limit the damage.
Murphy and Martin playing in at the corners. They would go home with any ground ball hit to them. That one misses low. One and 0 on Dillard. Two and 0 as fastball is low. There is action in the bullpen now. Somebody trying to get warm in a hurry. That one close enough to draw a swing from Dillard. 2-1. Good velocity. I think that one was in at 90 miles an hour from the lefty. Jones, one of those guys who didn't get a whole ton of run in the spring, might need to shake the rust off early in the Valley League season. Puts that one in there, and it's lifted into deep right. It's going to be deep enough to drive in a run on the sac fly. Maxey advances from second to third. Pitt stays put at second. Harris scores, and Christian Dillard earns himself a run batted in.
And mission accomplished, there if you're Dillard. Knocking home a runner and extending the lead, making it even harder for the Rebels to come back in this one.
2 outs, runners on first and third. Winchester has stretched the lead to 6 in the top of the 7th. Jackson Jones on the mound, misses low, 1-0. That one's outside, 2-0. Really need Jones to lock in here and get out of the inning, limiting it to 1 run. 6 runs is on the edge of doable. 7 feels a lot more insurmountable for Newmarket. Ball 3-0. I think a walk would probably end Jones' night. Rio up and away, and that is going to get Coach Charlie Shepard off of his chair and heading to the mound. We're going to have a pitching change. We'll be back in just a moment with the new Rebel pitcher. Camden Rogers out of Southern Miss on with the bases loaded, trying to get out of this jam for the Rebels and finds the strike zone for strike 1. Todd Abraham at the plate for the Royals. Called strike 2, dotted on the outside corner.
And that's how you start off your first at bat. Well, God, dominant those first 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Rogers comes in and strikes out Abraham on 3 pitches, limits the damage to 1 run. Couldn't have asked for anything better as a Rebel fan. We're going to have the 7th inning stretch, and we'll be back with Matt Murphy, Jonathan Lopez, and Grayson Gobby on the other side of this break. Matt Murphy going to lead off for the Rebels here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. A lot of work to do for the Rebels if they want to come back in this one. 9 outs remaining to try to score 6 runs. And we have a new pitcher for the Royals, Tyler McLeod. First pitch lifted into shallow center field. Might be trouble. Hangs up just long enough for Davis. Was not a hard hit ball.
And we've seen it before, that bloop hit kind of, but Davis was ready for it. He got on his high horse and he zoomed into shallow center to grab that one.
Gonna bring up Jonathan Lopez. Right fielder out of FAU. Playing right field tonight. Second baseman by trade. Nice fastball in for a called strike. Bit of an odd play there as the catcher threw it and deflected off of Lopez and bounced out towards third base. Oh, and 2 on Lopez now. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. McLeod quickly has 2 outs in his first inning of work for the Royals.
Bring up the designated. Grayson Buckby.
Not a lot of energy in the park at the moment, despite being a pretty good crowd. Pretty quiet. Looking for something to cheer for.
And rightfully so, the Royals have pretty much
That
quieted the
one's
Rebels.
Loaded just over the second baseman's head. Godby's going to have his second hit of the night. So good night at the plate for Grayson.
From college. 12, Maddox Land.
And this is McLeod's first appearance in the Valley Baseball League.
Maddox Land next up for the Rebels. He's turned back around to left-handed. First pitch in for a called strike. Looked like tried to throw a backdoor breaking ball there and didn't quite get the break. Land takes that breaking ball low and away, and he's heading to count 2-1. Josh Hines waiting on deck.
And in 4 appearances for the Golden Falcons of Felician, I believe he is one of 3 players on this team that goes to that university. 4 appearances and a 3.60 ERA. I mean, that's a good number for 4 appearances, especially we know ERAs can inflate like crazy. So when he's been put into the games, he's been effective for the Golden Falcons.
He's looked pretty crisp here tonight,
He
too.
has.
Down in the zone, looks like he has pretty good stuff, good velocity. Misses low there. Count goes full on Land, which means Godby will be in motion. On the next pitch, full count, 2 out.
If you're on first with 2 outs and it's a full count and you're not running, you're probably not playing baseball correctly.
And Maddox Land is going to draw another walk. Godby moves up 90. Josh Hines going to get a chance to get that run back that the Rebels gave up in the top of the 7th.
Great take there for Land. Good eye on the inside. He was trying to jam him on the inside pitch to make him put it on the ground. And Land says, no, sir. I'll keep my eye on that one. And he gets a free pass to first base.
First pitch to the Hines is right on the outside corner, called strike one.
And even including this game for the Rebels, you have to, tip your hat to the fact that it's probably their best start in a very long time, if not ever. 5-0 on the season. 2023 they started 3-0, and also in 2015 they started 3-0, and that's the only time they've started undefeated with that many games. So who knows? This is probably their best start ever. we really...
Certainly a strong start. Historica data, pretty hard to dig up.
Yes.
Unfortunately, record keepings in the early 1900s not really there for the Rebels,
Right.
but in the modern era, I would certainly say 5-0, one of the strongest starts ever.
And Brandon was going deep in his bag for that one, combing through the Valley Baseball League website.
That one's a wild pitch. Both runners are going to be able to move up. Timely hit from Josh Hines could cut the lead to 4 now. Certainly expect Land to be able to score from second on anything that finds grass.
Oh,
Instead,
wow.
Hines is going to get hit in the helmet. Yet another hit by pitch for the Rebels. Down a catcher tonight. Certainly concerned for Hines, but he appears to be just fine.
Didn't really even seem to affect him at all. Just turned around.
Tyler Martin going to get a chance to do some damage. Bases loaded. You know he would love to make up for his base running miscue earlier on. First pitch is a called strike in the upper part of the zone. Hard hit ground ball to third. And it's going to be an easy 5 unassisted. Fielder's choice.
Very solid start from McLeod there. Forcing Martin to put it on the ground and send it over to third for a really easy unassisted out.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors. Rebels strand 3. Zach Fortman going to lead it off for the Royals against Camden Rogers. Top half of the 8th inning on the other side of this break. Zach Fortman leading off for the Royals. First pitch from Rogers is a called strike. Rogers, another young pitcher that didn't get much work in the spring, excited to get some action in the Valley.
And we were talking a little bit over the break about how much traffic there's been on the bases for the Rebels. Yet, if you look at the scoreboard, you'd think the exact opposite. What do you think? What do you think about that? What do you speculate? What's behind that?
Well, we were talking about it. They've drawn some walks. They've got on base, but the slug hasn't been there when they needed it. A big hit or extra base hit to drive in some runs. 2-2 count now on Fortman. Rebels have drawn 7 walks tonight. Had the hit by pitch in the last inning. And there's a hit by pitch as Rogers plunks Fortman.
Yeah, and you see 7 hits for the Rebels, but really not a ton of big time hits where you really turn your head. Just some couple bloop hits, but really none that you really see and you're like, yes, that's big contact. And you know, the Rebels have had a lot of those big contact hits in a lot of these games that we've broadcasted, but this one there's kind of a shortage of them, and that's maybe one of the reasons why they're down so much in this game.
Certainly could be playing a role. First pitch to Tellison called a strike. Ground ball hit hard, but outside of third. That'll be a foul ball for strike 2. Rogers has a lot of sinking action on his pitches, so good chance to draw a double play ball here.
And you can tell Tellison was a little bit early on that pitch, and it was a breaking one, and he swung that over, and now just takes strike 3 there.
And there's a nasty inside breaking ball. Catches the inside corner after starting it right at the front knee of the batter. Tellison goes down looking. Can't blame him on that one. Tough pitch to hit.
Really nothing that he can do there on that inside heater. Did have a little bit of break on it as well.
I think that was a slider, something of that sort. Runners in motion. No chance for the catcher, Hines. Fortman had a big jump. So he has put himself in scoring position.
Hines has been looking for that throw out all day long, and he hasn't gotten it yet.
He's really only had one good opportunity.
Yep.
The other 2 were more stolen on the pitcher than on the catcher. That one was inside, almost clipped him. Catchers can only do so much if the runner has a huge jump. That one misses outside. Rogers has been all over the zone for the most part, but behind 3-0 here. No action in the bullpen. I think the Rebels would likely like to see Rogers finish this one out. Called strike. Valley League does use pitch smart guidelines, so have to be strategic in your deployment of pitchers to make sure that you have enough guys available. And it appears we had a pinch hitter.
That's Caden Albright out there for the Winchester Royals.
Completely missed that. So Caden Albright has the 3-2 count. Runner stealing third. Pitch was close, but taken for ball 4, so Albright works a walk.
And that's when you shake your head at, wow, Hines was holding it there to make it look extra good for the umpire as Portman took off and took third while that was happening. But that's a lose-lose there for the Rebels, as not only does the runner take third, but the ball gets called ball 4.
First pitch to Benavidez down for ball 1. Was another one. I don't think Hines had any chance if he tried to go to third. Big jump out at second. Might be an area that Rogers needs to work on, just keeping a closer eye on those runners. Understandable for a young pitcher that didn't get a lot of play this spring. 1-1 misses just inside, 2-1. Royals have also had a lot of action on the base paths tonight.
Score is a little bit more reflective of that.
And that one flunks Benavidez. He will earn first base the hard way with the hit by pitch to load the bases, which will prompt a visit from pitching coach Mark Davis. Meeting of the minds out on the mound for the Rebels, the entire infield in, perhaps to do some strategizing.
You talk a lot about a lot of traffic on the bases for both teams, but the really main difference was that 4th inning for the Royals, where they had, I think it was 3 straight line drives, which drove in multiple runs. I think it was 4 runs to be exact.
They definitely grouped together some hard hit balls there, combined with a few free passes, and did enough damage to put themselves well out in front.
Correct, and the Rebels have had those moments where they've had the full bases, they just haven't had the hits to go along with them. And I think if they did have those hits, we'd have a really close or tie game.
Rogers found the zone with his first pitch to Maxey. Second one misses for a ball, so it's 1, 1, 1, and 1 across the top of the scoreboard. At bat, number 1, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count with 1 out. 1-1 pitch. Inside. Nowhere to put him, so Rogers needs to put it in the zone and make Maxey earn it. Misses inside again, 3-1, in danger of walking in a run. And called strike. I think Maxey may have hurt his case there by trotting or turning towards first before hearing the ball call. Was certainly down and in. That one is bounced in there and hits him. Rogers struggling to find the zone all of a sudden. That is a dead ball hit by pitch. And a hard-earned RBI. Do have to keep in mind a 10-run run rule could come into play here.
Just about to say that.
Home team would get a chance to come back in the bottom half. Royals have extended their lead to 7. Still have the bases loaded with only 1 out. Went with something off speed there, which was fouled off. Could be an effort to stay in the zone, changing up the pitch selection.
And Pitts did have that line drive to right, and he did walk in this game as well. looking to continue his productive night tonight.
That one backs him off the plate. Didn't really miss by that much, but miss it did. 2-1.
Really close there. If this was the big leagues, you'd probably see a helmet tap on that one. Or a hat tap, if you will.
Ground ball up the middle. Chance for 2. Land to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time. Pitts beats it out to keep the inning alive. That's a fielder's choice. Maxey out 6-4. Benavidez advanced to third. Albright scores. That pushes the lead to 8 runs here in the 8th inning. And Christian Dillard at the plate. Rebel middle infield turned that pretty well, but just didn't have enough time. Misses for a ball. Another one that misses up and in. 2-1.
And Dillard had that nice shot up the middle in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd for the Royals. Did not drive in a run on that hit. However, he's looking to drive in one here with a runner in threatening position for the Rebels with 2 away. Or excuse me, the Royals. Sorry.
The R's together. That one's a wild pitch. That's going to score a run and advance the runner to second. Things continue to fall apart for Newmarket. The lead is now 9, and Pitts out at second base be the potential run rule run should he come across and the Rebels fail to score in the bottom half.
Stepping on that wild pitch, we saw Rogers just kind of trot, not really sprint down. Didn't really look like there was any way that they were going to get him. Kind of just surrendered that run there.
Dillard earns himself a walk. Troy Davis now with the chance. Another wild pitch. Outside. Runners move up 90 feet. Eerily quiet in the ballpark now. Many fans chosen to head for the exits with the Rebels trailing by 9.
Hear a pin drop in this ballpark right now.
And just about to hit 3 hours of game time. 10:30 Eastern time momentarily. Rogers really having a hard time with his command here. Looked really good his first outing for the Rebels and has been a bit spotty with putting it in the zone since then. There's a nice fastball swung on and missed. Gets some applause. Fans trying to show some support. Popped up, out of play.
So quiet out here, you can hear the Royals players kind of keeping their arms loose out by the batting cage, excuse me.
And there's another walk for Winchester to load the bases. Todd Abraham going to get a chance with the bases loaded. Rebels are going to make a pitching change as Coach Shepard heads out to the mound. We'll take a quick break and let you know who's coming in for Newmarket on the other side. New pitcher for the Rebels, 21, Jaden Harriel. Listed as an infielder, but throwing some heat, and he's ahead 0-2. Couple Rebel position players that have backgrounds, at least at some point in pitching, who have given the heads up that in case of emergency they can fill in. That was a breaking ball. So at least 2 pitches for Harriel. Pitching out of the windup with the bases loaded. And gets a pop-up to right field. Lopez is able to squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 runs on no hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base. After 8.5, it's Winchester 12, Newmarket 3.
3 runs, no hits.
Joe Terranova going to lead off for the Rebels. Bald strike. They have had at least one 10-run inning this year, and they're going to need another one if they want to come back in this one. Have left a lot of runners on base tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see some substitutions for either side here as we go with a 9-run lead. Still pretty flat feeling in the ballpark. Not a lot of energy. Understandable.
Still a fair amount of fans here, though. They love their Rebels no matter what. That's what matters, you know?
Diehards certainly stick it out. They've seen worse than this. I can recall a couple games back in the day going till 1 a.m. or so. 2-2 on Terranova. Up and in. Full count. You want to dream of a comeback here, a leadoff base runner would certainly be part of that dream. Swing and a miss. Ball gets well away from the catcher. Terranova's going to make it to first base on the wild pitch. It was an interesting one. It was not in the dirt or a block attempt. It just popped out of the catcher's mitt and rolled 50 feet up the third baseline. So that'll be a strikeout swinging with the pass ball.
And you could hear the Rebels bench go, run!
Yeah, Terranova was staying put, not realizing that the ball had gotten away from the catcher, understandably, on a pitch that was not low or out of the zone. Pitts has had a good night back behind the plate, but that one was a little baffling. Pickoff attempt. Not in time. Wouldn't expect Terranova to be running or to have overly aggressive lead.
Yep,
Jonathan Mallow at the plate.
Only really
Fouls
3
it back.
little shuffles from Terranova. Really nothing at all. Really no chance he could get picked off unless he just wasn't looking at the pitcher.
In your dream rally scenario, you can't afford a pickoff. That is
no,
for sure.
you cannot.
Rebels already had one rally
I was about to
sniffed
say,
out on
yes.
a pickoff earlier, where this one was quite as out of hand. Chopped to first. Rhoda second is in time to get Terranova. Thought that might just go with the easy play at first there, but instead it'll be a fielder's choice. 3-6 to get Terranova. Bring up Matt Murchison.
Well, that ball was popped really high in the air, but Tellefson didn't even have to flinch for it. He's so tall that he just reached up and snagged it.
Mallow at first now. Did not have a big lead at all. Murchison, a hard hit single through the right side earlier. Has a big hole over there right now with Tellefson holding the runner on. 1-0 pitch upstairs, 2-0. That one's laced into left center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall in left center. It'll be at least a double. Mallow's going to come in to score. Going to end up being a throwing error on the shortstop that allows Murchison to advance to third. Mallow comes all the way around. Murchison with the double advances to third as the throw in got away. He does earn himself an RBI. Lead has been cut to 8. Matt Murphy batting, runner on third, 1 out.
Well, that was undoubtedly the Rebels' best hit of the night there. Unfortunately, it comes in the bottom of the 8th with the game really, really almost out of reach, it seems.
Murphy fouls that one off, and he is behind 0-2. Johnny Lopez waiting on deck. Another one fouled off. And perhaps another all-time first for me. I peeked down at the Rebel bullpen, and it looked like Mario Lopez was warming up in full catching gear. Not as a catcher, as a pitcher. Never seen that one before either. Not sure if that was him just playing around or if he was thinking, if there's some thought of maybe using him as a pitcher. I don't know.
Well, you see something new every day, Andrew, and that's no exception on the baseball field.
We've really been proving that true
Exactly.
so far this year. Rebels had a bizarre walk-off win.
Might have been the strangest way to walk off a game.
No one on the field realized that catcher's interference was optional. The ball was put in play on catcher's interference. Everybody stopped. Runners kept moving. Winning run scored. 2-2 now on Matt Murphy. Hard hit ball into left field. That's a single. Rebels putting up some fight here. So an RBI single for Matt Murphy. Johnny Lopez now at the bat. I think I call him something different every time he comes up. Johnny, Jonathan.
John. Jonathan's one of those names you can kind of get away with that.
Versatile name. First 2 pitches to him, miss for balls. No action in the Winchester bullpen that I can see at the moment. Cloud is running into some trouble here. Couple hard hit singles, or in Murchison's case, a double. That one's fouled back to the screen. The Rebel bat boys hustling out to get it.
Two walks on the night for Lopez. That's really been it on a standing of bases wise. Did have that 6-3 ground out earlier in the second inning. Looking to get a hit here in some fashion.
Instead, he'll draw his 3rd walk of the night. Perhaps a little more energy in the ballpark after that one. 2 on. Blast from Godby here could cut the lead to 4.
Grayson Godby.
Pitching conference here.
Got a quick visit to the mound for Winchester.
There is someone going up to the Winchester bullpen. Might be.
While that mound visit's going on, a quick word about our Swing for Health partner, Diabetes Reversal Group. 16 years helping type 2 diabetics reverse their disease. And now they're right here in the Shenandoah Valley. Even if it's not you, you know someone. Check out newmarketrebels.com or scan the QR code located throughout the ballpark. Find out more. Mound visit has wrapped up. Grayson Godby is in the box. Maddox Land waiting in the on-deck circle. 2 Rebels on, 1 out. Rebels have pushed 2 across, but still trail by 7. First pitch is a called strike after the mound visit. Funny how often that seems to happen. You get a visit, and then all of a sudden, pour one into the strike zone.
Interesting how baseball works in that way. Sometimes when your coach tells you to focus up, your body responds. You know, sometimes your mind, you refocus, get a little couple seconds of a breather, and a little motivation, words of motivation from your coach.
Godby behind 0-2 after breaking ball finds the outside part of the plate. See if he can battle with 2 strikes. He lines one into right field. Another single for the Rebels. Runner's going to come on around to score. Bit of an aggressive send there, but wasn't a super clean play out and right. Godby having a great night at the plate.
And Dillard actually fumbled that ball there. Fortunately for him, Lopez wasn't looking over at right, because if he was looking, he would have taken off the third, and he definitely would have been safe. However, by the time Lopez took a look over out and right, he had it in his glove.
We're going to get a pitching change for the Royals. We'll step away while we determine who the new pitcher is, and we'll let you know on the other side of this break. New Royals pitcher is Ian Kaiser, left-handed pitcher wearing number 20. I believe he is making his Winchester Royals debut. Looking to snuff out this Rebel rally. Facing Maddox Land, who is flipped back over to the right side. And if I'm not mistaken, he's 1 for 1 as a right-handed hitter, so
Yes, he is.
intimidating
the-
1,000 batting average.
Incredible.
Second pitch finds the zone 1-1.
A little bit more about Kaiser. 9 appearances in 2026 for the Binghamton Bearcats. 8.2 innings pitched. Taking care of 8 batters by striking them out.
Steps off and now resets.
Never seen a pitcher squat way low like that.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up next for the Rebels. Just misses. Winchester dugout liked it. As of right now, it looks like David Pena will be the pinch hitter. He is in the on-deck circle. 2-2 to Land. Lays off one that misses low. Full count. Rebels just need base runners, down 6. With only 5 outs left to play with here in the bottom of the 8th. And Land is going to draw a walk. Bases are loaded. No quit in these 2026 Rebels. And here is the pinch hitter. Pinch coming in for the catcher, Hines.
Yeah.
David Pena has drawn a lot of walks for the Rebels. I think he's still waiting for his first hit. But
Believe so. Much
8
like
or
Land.
9 walks and a
Yes.
hit by pitch, so 2-0. I think Pena is another. Pena with 8 walks tied for third. Getting the note passed to me from Brandon. Another switch hitter and mostly hit left-handed this year, so maybe chance from the right side will be the trick. Swings and misses. Big, powerful looking hitter. You got to think Coach Shepard thinking he might be able to put one out of here and cut the lead to 2. Swing and a miss. Good pitch to swing at, but came up empty. Tyler Martin waiting on deck. And Pena goes down swinging. Couldn't catch up to 3 straight fastballs in the zone. And here is Tyler Martin.
Tyler Martin.
Joe Terranova waiting on deck. He would love to get a chance here in the 8th. That one just misses for a ball. Martin had his first Valley League hit tonight.
Martin looking for a little redemption after getting on base and getting picked off in a kind of a head shaking play there for the Rebels. So
Certainly a big opportunity to make up for that.
definitely.
He's ahead 2-0. The 3-0 as that one misses up. Rebels would certainly take a walk. At this point, anything that is not an out will result in a run or more.
I'd say it'd have to be a darn near perfect pitch for him to have to swing on it, and he doesn't.
I think that is a perfect example of a time that you might just give him the do not swing sign. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same here on 3-1, Martin being the 9-hitter. Takes a big hack. Looks like that was probably going to be a strike either way, so not a bad one to swing at. Full count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Playing here in the bottom of the 8th, Rebels trailing by 6. Need something good to happen. Runners will be in motion. Martin takes a big hack, comes up empty. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error, 3 runners left on base. We head to the 9th with the Rebels trailing by 6. Jaden Harriel still on the mound for the Rebels. Zach Fortman at the plate. 1-1 count. Mario Lopez Jr. is behind the plate now for the Rebels after Hines was pinch hit for in the bottom half of the 8th. Swing and a miss makes it 2-2.
So we saw Lopez Jr. in the bullpen with the gear on throwing. You said it. So it turns out it was him warming up to take a catching spot, get behind the plate.
Swing and a miss. Ariel gets the strikeout. Not primarily a pitcher, but looked pretty good in his first appearance on the mound. That one gets past the catcher. They're missing just up and away. Yeah, perhaps overlooked. The catcher has to throw a lot too. Throw hard, but throws down to second base. Important to warm up. That one's laced down the left field line past the glove of Martin. It's going to get all the way into the corner for a double.
Good contact there, just sneaks fair.
Yep, right down the line, just inside third base. clearly inside the bag. We have hit 11 p.m. Eastern time as we're playing in the top of the ninth. Ariel bringing it in the mid 80s. Swing and a miss. I think it has a little cut action or something on it.
Yeah, that was a great pitch, and a big swing there from Albright, looking to send home.
Swing and a miss on the 1-1.
Another one, another good pitch. Albright looked like he wanted to take a hack at that one up high.
Called strike 3. Painted on the inside corner. Ariel looking good out there.
Yeah, ring him up, and a great pitch from Harry, looking very solid.
That one is fouled off, 0-1. Harriel quickly ahead in the count.
And today Benavides had 4 straight strikeouts, and he broke that streak by getting
Ground ball to third. It's going to get past Martin and into left field. Runner is going to come around and score. Misplayed out there by Murchison, going to allow an advancement. E5.
Yep, that's one that Tyler Martin really is going to want to have back. That one just goes right through the wickets. 5-hole action if you're a hockey fan. Not the best error to give up there.
Tough night, both at the plate and in the field for Tyler Martin. Ariel ahead 0-2 on Maxey. The lead pushed back to 7. Ground ball to first. Murphy's got it. Waves off Ariel. Taps the bag. 3 unassisted for the third out of the inning. Winchester scores 1 on a couple of Newmarket errors. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors, 1 runner left on base. Rebels will need 7 in the bottom half to keep this one going. Joe Terranova leads off for the Rebels here in the bottom of the ninth. Takes a called strike. Ian Kaiser still on the mound looking to close it out for the Royals.
Terranova did strike out, but the catcher dropped it, and he was able to scurry his way to first on time to take the base on a wild pitch.
We're going to get at least one pinch hitter this inning for Newmarket. Called strike 3 on Terranova. 3 pitches, 1 out. Eric Torres is going to get into this game as a pinch hitter. Number 6 enters for the Rebels in place of Jonathan Mallow.
From Palm Beach, number 6, Eric Torres.
And hits one really hard off the third baseman. Good recovery there by the third baseman. Got in front of it, knocked it down with his chest. Looked like Torres had beat it out, but he is called out at first.
Wow, what a big time play from Benavides. Takes that, wears that bouncing ball and slings it over to first in time. Barely in time. But what a play by the third baseman.
Called strike to Murchison, 0-1. Another good night for Matt. 2 hits. Hard hit double into the left center field gap.
Got silver linings in every single game. Murchison will probably be the player example of that for the Rebels.
Oh, 2 to Murchison backs him off the plate. 1-2. Few remaining fans here starting to close their stadium seats and head for the exits. Murchison fights off the 1-2 to stay alive. Fastball just misses 2-2.
Much to the disappointment of the Royals dugout, who not the biggest fan of that call there from the umpire.
Takes another one just low for ball 3. Full count on Murchison. And fouled off. Couldn't tell if that hit him or was off the bat. Kind of up and in, a little awkward 10% swing.
Looked like it went off the butt of the bat there, and I see Murchison kind of looked at the umpire and said, didn't hit me. Just kind of confirmed the umpire's initial thoughts. Little conference here from one of the coaches.
I think he's actually checking on the catcher. Maybe he took that one off the hand. Don't think there was anything arguable on that play.
Well, that would probably make sense as it went off the butt of his bat, probably ricocheted down, made contact with the catcher, pits his hand, and he looks to be okay.
Another full count pitch to Murchison with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Big swing and a miss. Murchison goes down. Rebels go down 1-2-3. Rebels will pick up their first loss on the year and drop to 5-1. Winchester wins their 3rd in a row and evens their record at 3-3. Rough night all around for the Rebels. Defensive miscues on the base paths, and it ended up costing them as they fall to the Winchester Royals. Final line score, 13 runs on 10 hits and 4 errors for the Royals, 6 runs on 10 hits, 5 errors for the Rebels. We'll be back here tomorrow night to take on the Woodstock River Bandits. Same time, same place. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.